Hi, my name's Scott Tilley. I'm a British wildlife photographer, and I'm here today just to give you a quick review of the Vanguard Up-Rise 48 camera backpack. Now, when I was looking for a backpack for my wildlife photography, I looked at all the usual suspects like Lowepro and Tamrac, and yeah, they do all make good camera backpacks, but to be honest, I didn't want to pay the price. So I'd seen these advertised, and really looked at a few reviews myself, and then decided, well, I'd give it a go. So anyway, this is it. I've been using it for about 3 months now, and it's been through some sort of pretty rugged conditions. We've been up to the Isle of Mull, where it's been dragged along rocks in pursuit of things like otters for a week, and it's been generally, pushed through the undergrowth like most wildlife photographers do. So anyway, here's my quick review of it. Okay, well, I thought I'd start with the external sort of appearance of the bag. Now, obviously, you can see here it's got a attachment for attaching a tripod to the bag. I wanted one with the tripod attachment because I tend to, every time you don't take a tripod with you is the time that you want one. So most of the time this will be attached to the bag basically, and it's not a lightweight tripod. It's not carbon fibre. It's a robust one. It's probably weighs about 4 or 5 kilos. So and the bag handles it really well. Now it's clipped in. You have a clip at the top, and 2 of your legs slide behind a sleeve here, and then the legs fit into a holder at the bottom, and it fits in there really well. I'll tap. So you can see that, and that's how it's attached. As I say, it slides into there at the bottom. There's a hole in the bottom to let any water run out, which again is useful, and you can tighten or loosen that, depending on the sort of tripod you've got in there. And as I say, that fastens it at the top, which if you've not got a tripod in, you just fasten that there to keep the bag tight. Okay. Down the side here, there's another compartment. This is for a laptop. It will get a 15-inch laptop in there. I've tried my 17-inch laptop and it doesn't fit. Possibly it could at a really tight fit, but I would say probably not. You're better off stopping at a 15-inch. To be honest, I don't tend to use it for a laptop these days. What I tend to use it for is the wildlife photographer's friend, which is a ground sheet. So I always put a ground sheet in there because that can be used as a ground sheet if you're doing some macro work, or if you need a hide or something in a bit of a hurry, you can sort of string one up with that fairly quickly. So that's that side. So and this can all be packed away. So this can all be packed away out the way. At the back, you've got your 2 straps which are well padded. You've got a chest strap as well. And you've also got the strap that goes across your waist, and these actually can be packed away into the bottom here, so they can all be tucked away out of the way if you're not using them, but I tend to use them all the time. The other side, again, you've got a strap to tighten it. You've also got here's your rain cover. Now the rain cover on this is pretty damn good. I've had some in the past that are just fit over the bag and really don't allow any room for it to slide around the back. Now this one does, it really does cover underneath as well. I've had in the past where I've had one, obviously with it being a wildlife photographer, you are sort of going through branches and trees and things, and I've had one ripped off and had to walk a mile back to find it when I've realised it's been pulled off. This one, not only is it quite a good fit, but it fits around the back of the bag as well to a certain extent. It's also attached to the bag with an elasticated strap here, which does come off. You can take it off, but it does mean that it's attached to the bag at all times until you want to take it off, so you're not liable to lose it. This side of the bag, basically what you've got here is a quick entry and exit for your camera. So basically if you undo that clip there, pull that down, unvelcro that, and your camera can be accessed through the side there. The only problem I've found with this is, and it's something that I would probably say is a down point, is these clips aren't very easy to open and close. they could be a little bit more robust, and I would say it's difficult to close it. You have to push down on here, this rubber thing. Now I would much prefer a loop in here so that you can push it down. That might be something that Vanguard might look to do in the future, you never know. But it's really useful to be able to get it out of there, to be honest. The other thing to do with the back is obviously it's got an airflow system. So with that it means that obviously you sweat when you've got these on your back anyway, but it does sort of take it down to a bit of a minimum, and it does fit nicely on the back. I have to say it's one of the best ones I've had for fitting to your back. Entry to the front of the bag, as you can see, I've got some muck on it there, but that will wipe off. It does wipe clean really well. You've got a small, you've got your main entry there, which you have to undo these to get into, which again, if you've got your tripod attached and you're not taking your tripod off, it's difficult to get entry to the whole of the bag, but that obviously, that opens it up all the way down. We've also got another one here, which just gives you entry to the top. So, like I tend to do, I tend to put things, probably personal items like coats and things in the top. You'll get a small, coat or whatever in there. So that allows you quick access to that if you need it. And then you've got this compartment, which is it's very tight to get anything useful in there, but it's where the up-rise bit comes from, to be honest. And what you've got is another zip here, which if you undo that one all the way around, it then basically expands this. So it gives you probably 1.5 inches, 3-4 centimetres more, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it does actually make a difference. I thought at the start that it wasn't really a lot to shout about, but it does make a difference, and it's where the bag gets its name from, although it doesn't expand an awful lot. You've got a nice handle to carry it with, and something to put your details on there. So all in all, that's pretty outside. Hi, well, you'll have noticed I've changed position a little bit. The problem was, just after I recorded the second part of this review, we had we call in Britain the rain coming down in stair rods, basically, for about an hour. So the ground sheet I showed you earlier, which is normally stored inside of here, I've actually been cowered under it. Although I was kept entertained by a female roe deer and a youngster who were in the cornfield behind me, and obviously didn't know I was there because I was under the camouflage ground sheet. And then we had the Vulcan bomber come over, which I think is the only one still flying, flew straight over the top of me. So I was kept well entertained for that hour, but what I'm going to do now is finish this review before it chucks it down again. So I think what we'd got to do was look at the inside of the bag. Now, it's pretty standard, divided into compartments which can be customised for your own use. So you can sort of take these out and reposition them as you want. Obviously this one's set up at the minute, and this is how they come with the camera set to fit in here, so that you've got the side access to the bag to get the camera out quickly. I've found that this is a Nikon D7000, and it's got a 300mm f4 lens attached. It will fit in there still with the 1.4 converter attached as well, although I'm not sure you'd get anything much bigger in there with a lens attached. So if you're going to say have a 400 prime lens, you may have to carry that separately in the bag somewhere else, or reconfigure it so your camera sits at the top with the lens pointing down, for instance. But that can all be done by moving these compartments about. At the minute I've got sort of three lenses, including the one attached, and filters and some reflectors and other stuff. There's a 1.4 converter. There's room for lots more stuff in here. I tend to use the top for personal stuff, so there's a bit of a raincoat here. You've got these nets here where you can put sort of memory cards and one or two other things. The one thing I would say that on the inside finish of the bag, and sort of particularly sort of here, on things like other manufacturers like Tamrac and Lowepro, you tend to get more zipped compartments with like the waterproof covering. I think Vanguard could probably have looked at doing that. and it would have just given it a little bit more classy finish inside, really. These nets seem to be a bit, I mean, they do the job, but you know, they seem to be sort of a class below, if you like. So that's the inside of the bag. Right, as a final review then, as I say, I've been using this bag for 3 months, and I would say it's done everything I wanted it to do. If I was scoring it out of 10, I'd score it probably 9. I don't think I've ever scored anything 10, so that's pretty good. I like most of the stuff about it. It's robust, it's well made, it looks like a top end bag. It doesn't look like one of these cheap things that you might get for 20 or 30 quid. You know, this cost me, I think, 80 pounds. I think an equivalent from something like Low Pro or Tamrock would probably cost you between 20 and 40 pounds more than that for the size. So it's a good value bag. It's got a lot of features, it's got a lot of things good with it. Perhaps the only couple of niggles I've got with it are things like the buckles. They tend to, when you're joining them together, there's not a positive click. They tend to, sometimes these legs can slide outside, not particularly on the big ones, but on the smaller ones, on these, they're not very robust, and when you're trying to clip them together, sometimes they'll move down the side. I've had bags before where they've been a bit more robust, and when you put them together, they go together, and it's a positive thing that they're going together. These can be a bit difficult. Whether it's because I've got quite big fingers and hands, I don't know. The other issue is for this one here, it's quite difficult to push it together sometimes. You've got this rubber thing that it hides behind that you push on, I suppose. I sometimes think that perhaps they might have been better with a little rubber ring or something to put your finger through and just push it together, but they're minor things, and there's not anything major there. The only other thing is pockets on the inside. I would say finish on the inside could be slightly better. I would like a few more of the zipped pockets to put memory cards and things in. But other than that, it's a very good bag and well worth the money. I can highly recommend it. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you have, leave me a few comments. It's been fun doing it, it's been wet doing it, and I look forward to doing the next one.